What's going on, everyone? Man, this week was the best week we have seen so far in the group. Congratulations to everyone that hit it big. Those of you that got in a little bit late or just are now joining the smile party, don't worry, I do expect continuation into next week. I'm going to go through why I think that, and then I'm going to show you the suite of new commands that I just put into the Discord that are now ready to go. So basically what we're looking at here, we're looking at the 29th of July for AMD. Now, typically speaking, at the money, calls or puts is where the lowest IV should be. However, that is not what we observe in this options chain as well as other tech options chains. So right now, the lowest IV is sitting at $93 on the 29th. If we go a week further to the 5th, the lowest IV is out at, looks to be 99. So again, rises little bit by little bit each week. The lowest IV here is going to be 105 up further, and this is the case for all of your tech components, right? So you go to Tesla and you look at Tesla, and what do you see today? Let's not look at today because today's over. Where's the lowest IV? The lowest IV is 51.28. We get it twice at 855 and 865 going into next week. The 5th, we have the lowest IV all the way out at, appears to be 52.76%, which is at 890. So you get what I mean. We'll do one more just to show you that it is consistent throughout the tech components. Next, we have Microsoft. And Microsoft's lowest strike for next week is going to be out at the 40.83 IV, which is at 280. Now, if you go to the 5th, which is where I'm playing for these calls, the lowest IV is out at 305. No, I'm sorry, not 305. It's going to be 282.5. So, interesting shit, right? Now you may be asking, what the hell is a smile? Well, a smile, if you look at the literature, what it means is, historically speaking, smiles did not occur until after 1987 stock market crash, which is when the whole Salomon Brothers trial happened, with Warren Buffett taking over for Salomon Brothers, and then Salomon Brothers spread around the world and became, everything we see today, basically. And the Fed Reserve Chair of today, Jerome Powell, was the one that presided over that case. So full circle, here we are with Jerome leading the Fed, and the Fed's been responsible for the price action for the last 2.5 years, combined with BlackRock, Fidelity, and Vanguard. So what does this mean? Well, basically, the literature says that out of the money puts with the lowest IV, which would be the same thing as saying in the money calls with the lowest IV, is to price in negative news. Now, what do we know about news? Well, we have earnings coming out for every ticker that I just showed you for the most part. And what we're seeing in retrospect from the time before is the exact opposite. We're seeing out of the money calls with the lowest IV, and so much so that if you go to the last option chain in the strike price for these tech components, guess where the lowest IV is? At the very last strike price, all the way out at 460. This is very abnormal. Now, on top of this, you have ETFs that were just created, the single stock ETFs that are designed to basically amplify or mitigate the volatility. And then you also have a new methodology for calculating margin when it comes to implied volatility. They took the haircut component out and they put in the IV model. Now, could this be partly playing into that? I don't know. However, this group made more money than I've ever seen in the last week, and although today was a bit of a retrace, we should have expected it, but hopefully most of you waited until the end of the day or didn't trade at all, because today was simply an RSI reset for the week. So if we go back to let's go to the 30-minute. I mean, look at that. Boom, from overbought to oversold, and I mean, it doesn't get easier than that. RSI reset, RSI reset, RSI reset, but the overall trend continues upwards. So next week, definitely bullish going into this. And by the way, look at the volume on the daily. If we go out, I can't zoom out enough here, but if you look on your mobile, the volume is stacked historically right here, right? They're all sitting on historic cash about to pile in. So keep an eye out on your tech components next week. I do expect a continuation. And as far as AMC is concerned, today was kind of bullshit. I'm kind of thinking that the GME split had something to do with it, but we'll have to just keep trucking because AMC has earnings too. And I need to check the smiles on AMC. Not sure if we have it. Let's look for the week of earnings. Where's the lowest IV? You see how the lowest IV for AMC is in the money? That's how it should be, or at the money. You don't see what we just saw with the tech components, which is why I highly recommend taking this opportunity, because I've never seen this shit. So keep that in mind. Now, as far as the Discord commands, I have finally finished the new suite of commands. I'm just going to run through these real quick. So we have advanced price target. Type in a ticker. Oh, okay, it worked. And basically what you're getting is you're getting last month's average, if there is one. You're getting last quarter's price target average, last year, and the all-time average for any ticker. And then the publisher who published it. So take this with a grain of salt, obviously, just to get a little bit more information when you need it. Well, we also have the analyze command. So you pick a symbol, and this is your earnings analyzer. This helps gain some insight into the upcoming earnings. So for AMC, we're going to do 3, and we have a strong buy, neutral, and a strong sell. And there's different metrics for these. So the strong score of 5 is for their discounted cash flow score and rating. Strong buy on their return on equity score. And then we have a buy on their return on assets. Debt to equity, obviously they're still paying off their debt, so it's going to be a low score there. Price to earnings, obviously still in the hole as well. And then price to book is going to be struggling as well. But these 3 up top, very good signals. Again, I'm bullish on AMC heading into earnings. So this is a very useful command to use prior to earnings if you want to gain some insight. Next, we have the avatar. If you want to look at someone's picture in the group, let's just pick Zesty Jabroni. Zesty. It will show you their avatar. You can download it. There's Zesty. Next, we have just your basic chart. So AMC, you got a time frame you can pick. Not fancy by any means, just prints a nice little chart for you to look at. Next, we have check moving averages. So we're going to look at GME. This one may not work. Okay, cool, it did. And what it does, this returns the 50-day moving average and the 200-day moving average for any ticker on the daily. And keep in mind, the 50 crossing underneath the 200 is your golden cross, and the 200 crossing underneath the 50 is your death cross. Next, we have consensus. This is a pretty cool one. If we don't want to look at a consensus rating on AMC, it'll give you the high target, low target, consensus target, and median target. Obviously, this is something else you should take with a grain of salt, because obviously these price targets are outdated and should be updated. But again, I can only get the data from the API. This is from IEX Cloud, and some of the stuff they don't update more than once a year or once a quarter. Next, we have corporate, which will give you, it will return one executive per company and show you how much executive compensation they have, shares in the company they have, stock awards, other compensation, and then the total amount at the bottom. And that's pretty neat. Next, we have criminals. This is a good one. So, for example, we all know Nancy Pelosi just got NVIDIA, so if we put NVIDIA in here, it will return that. Honorable Nancy Pelosi, District CA12, disclosed on 7/14, transacted on 6/17, and this was NVIDIA Corporation call options that she exercised at the $100 mark that expired on June 17th, which June 17th was the effing bottom of the market. And then, of course, it has a link to the filing as well. And, sorry, I have my sound muted, so, oh no, never mind, it is muted, so you don't hear any beeps from Discord. Very good. So, the criminals command does not exist anywhere else but FUD stops. Keep that in mind. Crypto quote also will work on securities as well, but you can use this for crypto as well. So the way to do it, obviously BTC USD, you will return volume and the current real-time price for Bitcoin. Next we have /earn, which gives you very advanced metrics on a ticker for their earnings metrics. So let's do, since we have Microsoft coming up, let's do Microsoft. So you get their total revenue, their current debt, their market cap, their total cash, their profit margin, forward PE ratio, next earnings report date, PEG ratio, company name obviously, and price to sales and price to book. Very useful. Next we have Earnings checker. If you want to look and return a screener that returns all of the earnings coming up within X amount of days, just type /earnings underscore checker, type the amount of days you want, and it returns a link to FinViz with the screener results. Next, we have evaluate. This is another kind of sentiment checker. So earnings valuation for GME. This was last posted on the. It's going to be the last earnings report, and the price on the last earnings is not true. It's been split adjusted because we just had a split today, but it returns their market cap, shares outstanding, their final enterprise value, which is what is important here. And I will edit this to reflect billions, millions, such like that. But basically, you want to look at the final enterprise value just to get an idea of what their worth is going into earnings. Next, we have fails. This one returns the latest fail to deliver for any ticker. Gives you the price, the amount, the date it failed on, and that's that. Next, we have /52, which is going to return the 52-week high, the 52-week low for any ticker, and what date they occurred on against the current price. So very good to check when looking for play opportunities. Next, we have Fin Screen. This one's pretty badass because you get to pick a pattern like channel down, channel up, wedge down, wedge resistance, TL support, TL resistance, double bottom, pick a direction, up or down. This is for the gap. And then you want to pick oversold 30 RSI, oversold 20 RSI, overbought 60 RSI, or overbought 70 RSI. So we're going to go oversold 30, and then new low or new high, and then it will return a query for you at FinViz with the results. Next, we have Form 13F. This one, if you just type in, I believe, the ticker name, and then click on the link, it will return you to GameStop's 13F. Oops, that's the wrong one. Maybe you got to type in the company name. Oh, actually, I put the code and I'm wrong on that one. So I will actually fix this command. So stand by on that one. Sorry about that. But let's continue on here. Okay, Fin Screen, Form 13F, FTDs. This is actually the one, it will return an interactive FTD chart for the security that you want. So this one, /AMC, type it in, go to the website, and it's your interactive SEC SD FTD chart for AMC. Hey, look, FTDs. I would recommend going through these, seeing which ones that you like, seeing which ones you would want to use. I'll get to this one last. Then we have futures. Futures, this is pretty cool. You have about 25 different options to choose from, like orange juice, platinum, S&P 500, corn, crude oil, Brent, standard crude oil, Dow Jones, soybean oil, silver, natural gas, Japan currency, Swiss currency, Canadian currency. Just type one in, hit enter, and then it returns you the futures chart for that future that you selected. And the way to get to these bots, by the way, I'm just hitting / and then I'm clicking on FUD stop commands, and then that's going to be the bot that you want to use. Top shorts will give all the tickers with 30% or more short interest. Gap down will return gap downs with patterns you have between channel up and strong channel down. And again, a lot of these don't exist anywhere else. They only exist here because the way I've coded them, I've autistically coded them, and really a lot of these other bots I've noticed, like Options Fan Bot, is not very well coded. It's very cheaply coded. So I'm just going to blow through some of these right here. We have gaps down. It's going to show you a screener with technical patterns and gaps down. I think I just showed you that one. Then we have gaps down percentage. This one you put in a percentage and it gives you a return screener with results that have been gap down for the percentage that you put in. Then we have the same thing with a gap up percent. You can also search for gap up percent, like this one just returned tickers with 5% gap, which are all these right here. And then let's go back real quick. Then we have gaps with technicals, and this is your channel up or strong channel down with an RSI oversold or overbought. And this one sometimes may not return one. Actually, that one's broken. I got to fix that one. So 2 so far that I got to work on. Everyone else has worked so far. Okay, grade. This one's pretty neat. You're going to grade the security of your choice. It's got to be in all caps, though, unfortunately. So basically, this is your industry consensus. It gives you the grade, the name, obviously, the date, which was none. We have a previous grade, which was underperform. Then we have the grading company that gave this rating, an action to take, which in this case it says hold, and then the price when this was posted. So this is very useful for determining overall sentiment by the industry. Just a few more to go over, I think. We have headline check. Type in a symbol, it returns the headlines for that symbol with a picture and a link. What else? We have logo. This will return the company logo for any ticker. So if you don't know the logo, if you want to do AMD, for example, we'll return AMD's logo, and it is downloadable as well. We also have navigate. This will just navigate you anywhere in the Discord that you want to go to find a channel. Just simply start typing. If you wanted to go to the alerts channels, you would type navigate and then alert, because I've put little code words by each channel name. So to find anything, you just gotta, it's very intuitive. Just type what you're looking for. Like if you're looking for consumer cyclical starts with 2 C's, so just put CC, and all of the consumer cyclicals will show up. So navigate is very useful. You also have navigate threads as well that you can utilize. So if you want to get all of the MCHI holdings, you can go here, create yourself a link to all MHCI threads, and then we have a giant list of ownership there. Okay, what else? We have new high. This returns a link to tickers that just hit their 52-week highs. Same thing for new low. We have it returns a screener to tickers that just hit their new lows. We have notes. That's basically a shortcut to the notes giant FUDStop command. Like if you want to get the S&P rebalancing info, it's right here. Macroeconomic policy since COVID is right there. China versus the USA, future projections are there. Trade halt codes, and I will be adding on to this, of course, as I typically do. What else? We have overbought gap that returns you tickers that are overbought with a gap and are in a downward channel. Then you have peers as well. It's going to return you all of the peer symbols for a ticker. So if you want to look at peers for GME, you just type in GME, and then it will return you all of the peers for GME. We're just about done. Then you have price target and price check. Price check just returns you the current symbols percent difference on the day. So if we want to look at AMC, it'll just let us know that AMC lost 8.8% today, which sucked ass. Okay, now, wrapping this up, I promise. I'll save the best one for last. Quote percent gives you a very detailed quote metric command for any ticker. So we're going to do, let's just do Microsoft. And it brings back the company name, primary exchange, latest price, odd lot, delayed price, which is none, the order size, and the average volume. Just about wrapped up here. Then we have the RSI, which is obviously just put a ticker in the date, and it will return the RSI for the daily. And again, for the current day, it takes, in after hours sometime is when it updates, so just keep that in mind. For the current day, it won't usually update until after hours. Then we have RSI by timestamp. So if you wanted to look at the RSI for AMC at 9 o'clock a.m. on 2022 7/19, and you just pick the interval, 60-minute. Oh, there's a pre-selected set of dates, my bad. So you pick the pre-selected date, and then you get your timestamp for 9 o'clock that day, which was 52. Okay, I think that's about it. Two more. We have sentiment. So let's do sentiment for GME. Just gives you strong buy versus hold versus sell versus strong sell versus the consensus total, which this one is actually very, very useful. Consensus total for GME right now is buy. So sentiment for AMC is sell. So take that for what it's worth. Again, grain of salt. And then last but not least here, we have volume, which just returns you the volume versus the average volume on the day. So if it's midday and you're not sure if SPY is trading near its average volume, just use this command, hit SPY, and it will let you know that we traded slightly under our average volume today. And then last but not least, the FUD stop command is the command to rule them all. Because this is where you can go to get anything. Play opportunities, core, explains the core logic, step 1, 2, 3, and 4. We have the playbook right here, calls and puts, and we have our play history. Then we have our core screener from Alphaquery. Then we have our real-time play alerts, analyst upgrades, social spike, crypto alerts, important news, option sweeps, stock breakouts, scalps, insider trades, all this stuff. It's a very interactive command that you can use, and all this stuff only you can see it when you call it. So keep that in mind. And you can pin stuff if you want. And you can go back and forth. It's basically a chain command that you can go anywhere you want and get anything you want. We have the Discord tutorials, which you can learn things like the navigation system for hashtags, saving messages as threads, utilizing Discord search, turning on developer mode, how to navigate and research in the Discord using the data, how to query every ticker in the market, the command booklets to help with commands, how to read open interest and volume, the Alphaquery tutorial that comes free with your subscription, optimizing your Discord layout, basically everything you could think of under the sun. I'm going to go back home here, and then we have bot commands here. We have the options fan bot here. You have stock info commands, which returns a little booklet that you can use to get a little helper list for commands. Again, general market commands, charting commands, scan commands, dark pool commands, option commands, earnings commands, the whole 9 yards. Quant Data. We'll explain our dark pool feeds, our unusual options feeds, our golden sweeps feeds, our quant alerts, and all that good stuff as well. And then, of course, we have the OpenBB bot, which there are actual command helpers in here. So, for example, if you wanted to get some quick TA charts, go to the TA, and then go to the fib chart, and then just take this value here, copy it, paste it into the chat, hit tab, and then just type in the ticker you want, and it will start printing out the fib for you. Let's go back home here. And then we already went over the important notes in the notes command earlier. This is the same thing I showed you a second ago. Then we have the educational research. This is basically a giant list to my entire YouTube channel. So if you want to learn about China, the DTCC, the OCC, the NSCC, FINRA, SFT, net stable funding ratio, if you want to learn about options, Chicago Board Exchange, Intercontinental Exchange, Exchange Traded Funds, New York Stock Exchange, it's all there. We'll turn a giant list of videos that you can click on and view whenever you want, as well as a nice embed that explains some stuff. And there's our fib for GME, by the way. And then let's keep going through this one. Then you have the dictionary, which is going to explain various terms like balance sheet, equity, bad debt, over-the-counter, inflation, benchmark, cryptocurrency, etc. Then there's a second page that goes on to define some more terms. And again, this command is just /FUD stop. Then there's data. Data is this is badass. You have Big Mac data sets, which basically shows you geo value throughout the world in different countries. Oh, why didn't that work? Oopsies, I need to fix that real quick. I'm gonna fix this live because I gotta show you this one. This one's cool. Did snake? I didn't capitalize the C. So this should be capitalized. This should be not capitalized. So let me fix this real quick. I thought I did that earlier. You know what? I could actually do it this way. I could do this. I'm gonna replace this with this. Okay, that should have fixed it all. So now I should be able to refresh this, and those data commands should work. Because you have quite a bit. You have quite a bit of them. You have inflation data from around the globe, repo data sets, economic indicators, income expenditures, debt data sets, money supply data sets, growth data sets, CFTC data, unemployment data sets, futures data sets, Bitcoin, and SEC. I mean, what else could you ask for? So let's try that again. Come on, daddy. Okay, so data. So Big Mac data sets. You have United States, China, Hong Kong, India, Japan, Russia, Saudi Arabia, Singapore, South Korea, Sweden, Switzerland, Taiwan, and Ukraine. Now, whenever you click on one of these, it will download you an Excel spreadsheet that you can go and look at, and you already have the data pre-column, pre-organized for you. If you want to download multiple of these, you can download multiple and then string them all together and see what they look like, you know, from a standpoint of being all together in the data set. However you want to do it. It's for you to utilize and research. Now, what else? We have the inflation, of course. Oh, that's the one that failed earlier, so we got to go back here. And then we have debt data sets, like the commercial and industrial loans, excess reserves on depository institutions, and all this stuff is updated automatically from NASDAQ Data Link. And here is our return spreadsheet that I just printed out. Money supply data sets, St. Louis adjusted monetary base, M1, M2, velocity of M1, and velocity of M2. CFCT data sets, which I need to fix that one. It looks like unemployment, which this one's crazy. You got civilian unemployment, natural rate of unemployment short term, civilian labor, civilian employment, just total unemployed, all employees total non-farm, all employees manufacturing, initial claims, and the 4-week moving average of initial claims. So yeah, I would definitely go check that out. This does not exist anywhere else. This is a first. And I've integrated it with chain viewpoints, basically. Other than that, you have your tools. You have your useful links right here, like the FINRA off-exchange short volume, 13Fs, Fed register, all the DTC and other major agency rules, money market fund data, SIBO market share graph, FINRA over-the-counter, systematic internalizer data, failure to deliver data, and then you have the NYSE master index of the FTP data. And then your trader tools, which again, this is like your Get Mine mind maps, Black-Scholes calculator, OpenBB terminal, if you want to download that to utilize it, option strategy creator, difference checker, social data, subreddit statistics, mention maps, social blade, market maker signals, interactive FTD chart, and the options profit calculator. Lots of stuff. Oh, and then there was also calendars in there as well, like your FINRA consolidated audit trail calendar, FOMC schedule, and the short interest reporting date calendar, which are all very important. Then you have the market glossary, which I'm still building and adding on to. So that's that. I just started that one, so bear with me on that. And then last but not least, we have Webull School. So if you're new to trading and you're not sure what to do or how to go about utilizing Webull, there is a Webull School for it, technically speaking. You can learn about the option Greeks, options education, technical patterns, analysis tools, like the order flow distribution and the positions cost distribution, what it means, how to use it. You can learn about option strategies, like your long call, your losing call, your long call for profiting. Basically anything you want, it's all right here. You just got to look through it, and you have options paper trading you can look at. Bunch of stuff in here for you to utilize at your advantage. So basically I've done all that for the group. So that's what I've been working on the last 2 or 3 weeks, is putting all this together. I'm sure you've seen me testing it all out in the Discord. So that's why I've been doing it, is to, you know, private it for every user so they can call it privately, get all this information without clogging up any kind of the chat. So I think there may be one more command that I haven't gone over. Oh, okay. Okay, so this is how, if any of you have a Discord out there and you're stuck on how to transfer regular commands to slash commands, it's super easy with this snake. All you do is bot.command is bot command, bot.slash command is the only difference. Change context to dissnake : interaction. Whoops, hold on. Interaction, my bad. Interaction : dissnake dot application command interaction with all capitals after the dissnake. And then down here, instead of context.send, you put interaction.response.send_message. And that will convert it. And then you can put a nice description underneath it to do that. And just 3 quotes on each side. And then get advanced company profile information for a stock ticker. So that just converted that one, and I'm going to convert one more, bot./command. Change context to interaction, and you can abbreviate it enter colon dissnake.application command interaction. And then here, since we put enter instead of interaction, now it's enter.response.send_message. Then I'll refresh this, and then those should be now converted to, oh, I forgot to put the definition here. This one just returns the exchange for whatever ticker you want. It gives you the exchange back that it's listed on. But yeah, this bot file is now up to, jeez Louise, 6,156 lines of code, not including the cogs and the configuration file. I guess I just want to share those 2 more real quick, and then we're all good to go, and I'll leave you alone. Okay, so I wanted to show you profile/profile. Computer's going slow. What doing? Okay, I'm gonna have to refresh. Sometimes the / commands take a bit to register into the Discord, but usually refreshing your browser will take care of it. And this video is pretty long, but it is helpful because I want you all to utilize these commands. They're very, very helpful in determining, what's going on in the market. Come on, man, what's going on here? Well, I might cut this one short because I don't feel like waiting for this to load. Don't know what's going on. Let me try to refresh it again. But anyways, yeah, just go check these commands out and see what you think. I guess it's going to load for me again. Okay, so profile, let's see if it's there. Nope, alright, I'll have to wait on that one. Anyways, that's this one for you. I'm very bullish on next week, so you'll have a good one. Oh, there it is. Hold on. Profile, Jimmy. There it is. There. So you get a description for the company, their market cap, their IPO date, their employee amount, if it's an ETF, a fund, or an ADR, the industry that it's in, their current beta, their average volume, range on the current year, which this has been split adjusted, keep that in mind, a logo for the company, and their latest dividend payment. So how about them apples? And then one more, the exchange. That one hasn't showed up yet. Oh, there it is. Exchange, let's just do go to New York Stock Exchange. So there you go, a bunch of new commands. Have fun with them.